about the new wonder. Come on.
मैं हूँ तुम्हारी अजूबा महबूबा, मैं हूँ तुम्हारी अजूबा, मैं हूँ तुम्हारी अजूबा, ओ महबूबा, मैं हूँ तुम्हारी अजूबा। मुझको पाने की खातिर तरसे जहान रे, पाएगा जो भी मुझको होगा बेमिसाल रे। मुझको पाने की खातिर तरसे जहान रे, पाएगा जो भी मुझको होगा बेमिसाल रे। मेरी अदाएं तौबा पागल बनाए तौबा, सैया बेदर्दी मेरे हो तुझ पे दिल डूबा। मैं हूँ तुम्हारी अजूबा महबूबा, मैं हूँ तुम्हारी अजूबा, मैं हूँ तुम्हारी अजूबा, ओ महबूबा, मैं हूँ तुम्हारी अजूबा।
The way she grab me, woman, never think of another love in the world. You are the only one that I be thinking of. And if them ever listen, strike that line in a thunder. The way she put this on you, must one of the seven wonder. You make me wanna fall in love, baby. My princess, look miraculous in your sundress. Them gal there, no contest. You the hottest, yes, must confess. Richness and sweat, and nobody does it better. No, we are the best, yeah. I'ma take you where you wanna go, like you ain't already know. Baby, don't if you fall, take you to the Taj Mahal. Take us all through the wall garden. You so fresh like the white bubble.
परी नहीं मैं, परियों की रानी मैं, मेरी जवानी ही मेरी कहानी है। परी नहीं मैं, परियों की रानी मैं, मेरी जवानी मेरी कहानी है। मेरी जवानी मेरी कहानी, नींद चुराए तेरे रातों की जानी। मैं हूँ तुम्हारी अजूबा महबूबा, मैं हूँ तुम्हारी अजूबा, मैं हूँ तुम्हारी अजूबा, ओ महबूबा, मैं हूँ तुम्हारी अजूबा, मैं हूँ तुम्हारी अजूबा महबूबा, मैं हूँ तुम्हारी अजूबा, मैं हूँ तुम्हारी अजूबा, ओ महबूबा, मैं हूँ तुम्हारी अजूबा।
Make me wanna fall in love,
नाज़रीन, वेलकम बैक। तो जैसे आपने देखा भाई श्वेता सुब्रमण्यम की वीडियो अजूबा वाकई में खुद ही में एक अजूबा है। एंड आई थिंक उस वीडियो में जो खासियत थी, देयर इज अ लॉट ऑफ क्रिएटिविटी दैट्स गॉन इनटू इट। विजुअली इट्स अ स्टनिंग वीडियो एंड अ लॉट ऑफ दैट क्रेडिट गोज टू वेल द लेडी दैट्स जॉइनिंग मी राइट नाउ, मिस सोनी। तो भाई अब ये वीडियो के बारे में बात करते हैं। आई थिंक वी स्पोक अ लॉट अबाउट sort of Bollywood choreography altogether, but Shweta Subramaniam again such a talent to watch out for. I think अगर टोरंटो में कोई नायाब सी आवाज़ है जो बॉलीवुड के स्टैंडर्ड्स को छू सकती है, I think Shweta would be it. How did you come to be involved in this project?
Okay, well, आजकल ये Facebook, social media, Twitter, everything is there.
Yep.
And I harassed Shweta, please tweet. I'm going to do your next music video. Tweet. I'm going to do your next music video. Twitter is great. And luckily I was able to connect with her. And I have done some past work with Pariche. So she had heard some good things
Right.
about me, I guess. Thank you. And so I said, listen, you know, I have some concepts. I have some idea.
Yeah.
She said, you know, Soni, I really don't know. I said, listen, leave it up to me. And she said, okay. And I loved her for that. You know, she gave me full
Right.
rights to my creativity. And I said, thank you so much. This is awesome. And from there, we pretty much started the journey. And it was truly an ajuba.
It was, and I think
it
it's a
was
brilliant track. I
beautiful.
think that it's one of the few Canadian Desi artists who I actually have on my iPod. So I'm really proud of Shweta. If Shweta's watching this, really, I think you've done well, and you've done well, and of course Pariche has done well as well. In terms of again going back to choreographing, what I find really interesting is that you are based off of Toronto, and I think ये कहना सिर्फ गलत नहीं होगा कि the ultimate aspiration is to be a Bollywood choreographer. Now Bollywood is a film industry,
Yes.
and it's rooted in Mumbai. How does one manage to be a Bollywood choreographer while living outside Mumbai?
Okay, one of the big things about that is, when we talk about going to India and becoming a Bollywood choreographer, in fact, when you know people, it's easy.
Yeah.
But the hardest challenge like you mentioned, is being in North America and trying to become a Bollywood choreographer. You know, the bridge between the two countries, you know, this different cultural values, social values, you know, education here, education there, so many different things, and even the people that you have access to. You know, some people think, oh, it's great, you go to India and you can pick up the phone and call someone. It's not that easy. It's a big struggle. You go, you knock on doors, let me in, and luckily one of those doors open and you get an opportunity. I have been fortunate that, you know, I knocked on the right doors, I have this opportunity, and so I travel back and forth. And lucky for me that is how, when we say Bollywood choreographer, I'm not just a North American Bollywood choreographer.
You've actually done work.
I've actually done work.
I mean, हाल ही में I think your Toronto में shoot हुई थी film Thank You.
Thank you,
You
yes.
choreographed for that film as well. How was that experience? First of all, how did that movie come to happen in the first place?
Thank You was a great movie. So Anees Bazmi, if you've seen any of his movies, you know, his motto is to basically make people leave the theater laughing. You know, this is his thing. I want people to watch a movie and I want them to laugh when they leave. And Thank You, by chance, I stumbled on it. Just by chance, I happened to be in Vancouver, and luckily, those of you that know, another Bollywood choreographer, Divya Kumar, happened to be there, a good friend of mine, and he was like, I'm working on Thank You. And I said, okay, I'll bring you a coffee. And from bringing a coffee, you know, I stumbled in, and I ended up meshing with the team really well, and I ended up staying back.
It's amazing. How was that experience?
Honestly, it was probably one of the best experiences of my life. I have yet to watch the full movie in one shot. Every time I press play, I cry. It brings back a lot of memories because the people that you meet, the things you get to learn are amazing. You know, when we did it in Toronto here, you know, I was able to cast about 300 people into the movie, and that's a great feeling to give opportunity. Like you said, how do people here do it? You know, giving an opportunity to people that aspire here is one of the best feelings in the whole world.
That is true. Now, what I want to know is, having done that movie, what is your mind space? Like, I'm really curious to know, once you've actually sort of been there on a movie set, you're actually seeing real people, Sonam Kapoor, Bobby Deol, Irfan Khan, and I believe, was it Akshay Kumar?
Sunil Shetty.
Sunil Shetty. So pretty much, you know, people you've grown up watching, particularly in the 90s, these are major stars we're talking about. Film ho jati hai, phir kya, like, honestly, you sit back and go, कि अब मैं बॉलीवुड कोरियोग्राफर बन चुकी हूँ, शायद इंडिया चले जाना चाहिए. Yeah, what do you feel, and what is your next step after that?
To be quite honest with you, I'm a little worried. अगर मैं इंडिया चली जाऊँगी, what's going to happen to the people here? Okay, I feel like I have a social responsibility to all the youth of like Toronto that I have to be here because you need to give them somebody to look up to. If I'm here, they can aspire. They can see an example, a living example of someone that's doing this as a career, successfully and happily. I love it. So if I leave, what will happen to all those people who, you know, where are they going to go? Who are they going to call for dance lessons?
And honestly, I think that what you've said is something really valuable. I feel that our Desi community here, there's a South Asian community in Canada which has so much potential. First of all, our population is big. We're a big minority in Canada. On top of that, there's a lot of potential in this community. And I don't know if you agree, but I feel that there is potential to actually build an industry within an industry over here as well. And I think that it's been done before. London's a great shining example of that. London mein jis tarah se I think Desi community ne cultivate ki apni khud ki ek entertainment industry, it can happen in Canada as well. So I'm really proud of people like yourself, and again, people like Shweta and Pariche, who do great work off the standards जो कि इंडिया में हो सकता है या पाकिस्तान में हो सकता है या कहीं भी, and they do it here. So it's always something to be proud of. Now again, speaking of great work within Canada, you just recently choreographed Shafqat Amanat Ali's concert.
Yes.
What was that experience like?
Oh my God, a very scary experience. I think when you meet somebody at that level, you shake. You know, is it going to be okay? Is it not? And again, choreography to live music is probably one of the hardest challenges ever. You know, we had a whole bunch of talent, and again, as I mentioned earlier, I like to create a resource. So all the people that we had brought on for the Shafqat show were new.
Wow.
So not professionally trained dancers who trained in 2 weeks specifically for him. So I can just imagine what they were feeling like.
True.
But to be their first show and be with Shafqat, you know, if we can only build the bar that much higher, you know, we as Toronto, like you said, London is doing it, we can do it too.
Absolutely, yeah.
So luckily, I know it was a scary experience for me. You know, I had to go up to him and I said, you know, excuse me, sir, मैं आपके लिए dance कर रही हूँ, मेरे dancers dance कर रहे, is it possible I can speak with you? And he's like, oh, I don't care where you go, dance anywhere. It's no, and he was so easy to work with. You know, that's when you feel good because everybody's working together.
You work with so many different talents. I'm going to ask you, what has been your favorite experience in terms of working with an artist? I know that's a tricky question, but yeah, इतनी आसानी से जाने तो नहीं दे सकते ना आपको.
That is a very tricky question. My favorite experience, oh my goodness, I have too many. But my favorite experience, I think, in North America, I would have to say quite honestly, apart from like the film stuff I do, is working with Bariche. Wow. He is one of my favorite artists to work with. His music video shoots are always fun, and somehow I secretly sneak in without anybody seeing me. Going back to the comment you made about, you know, choreographers, I seem to be getting on that verge lately. Shh, we won't tell anyone I'm good at covering
you have a long way to go.
So everyone says to me, hide from the camera. So I always secretly try and sneak in, and he never says no. None of his team ever says no. So I think it's been fun. The makeup artist like Kate, she's awesome. So they're great. I think that's been the best music video experience that I've had here in North America.
That's awesome. Okay, in terms of inspirations, I wanted to ask you this earlier. Abhi mauka mila tabhi pooch leta hu. Growing up, did you ever watch a dancer or which you said ki yaar is tarah dance karna, ye is tarah dance karwana in terms of choreographers?
Have I ever grown up watching a choreographer or have I ever grown up watching an artist?
Both. The two different questions.
Okay. Dance-wise, I know it sounds kind of funny, but I actually followed a lot of Govinda-style dancing because I was really into that, you know, feeling like
that masala, like the,
you know,
like the bilkul bindas kind of masala commercial pataka dancing.
Yeah, it was fun, you know, like I know it sounds funny me being a female telling you, but I always thought, oh, and we dance, you know, the Ravina and Govinda match. It was fun to watch, so awesome. In terms of choreographers, as I mentioned, when we talk about Bollywood, the newer choreographers, example, Terrence Lewis has been a very big aspiration to me. When I see him, I feel music, I feel dance. So in the new generations, he has been somebody that I really have looked up to. I've learned a lot from him. You know, I've worked with him many times, and he's always left me with something awesome and something to give back.
That's beautiful. You know what? It's really refreshing. जब भी लड़कियों से पूछते हैं, especially those who come from the dance circuit, कि who do you admire most? हर बंदे ने माधुरी दीक्षित का नाम लिया. So I'm really glad you said Govinda. Honestly, it's refreshing to hear that. And Govinda is a phenomenal dancer. I think before sort of the, you know, the Shahid Kapoors and the Hrithik Roshans came in and just made it a little too perfect for the आम इंसान to do it. Govinda एक ऐसी शख्सियत थे कि आम इंसान भी देख के कह सकते कि ये डांस मैं भी कर सकता हूँ.
Oh my goodness, आपने कभी देखा होगा? He has one song. It's like मेरे shirt, be sexy मेरे pants, and I always laugh at this. Like, can you just imagine? Like, well, we shouldn't be telling our parents, but you know, I used to go around and kind of pull my shirt and thought I should wear a tie. So it's kind of fun, and everyone can do it. That's the point. Everybody can dance, and he is one of those people that shows you everyone can dance. You just have to have a little bit of heart and a lot of courage to just do it.
Exactly. I think it's that spirit of dance which I think, you know, you bring to your students, and I think sort of great celebrities like Govinda do so as well. I want to really quickly talk about the studio, Creative Arts, and then sort of, you know, I know we have to let you go. So jaldi mein pooch leta hu, how did Creative Arts come to form?
Creative Arts actually goes credit to Shai. Shai is another professional choreographer from Vancouver. He also is a Bollywood choreographer. And basically one day, when I was growing up, I used to dance with Shai. And one day I said to him, I said, Shai, why didn't you ever dance with me? Is it because I'm too short? He's a very tall gentleman. And he said, no, not at all. He said, I never noticed you in the class. And I said, okay, I have a dream. You know, I want to dance with you one day. And going from that, you know, we talked about dance and stuff. And he told me, you know, and he was running Creative Arts in Vancouver. And I said, you know, I have this aspiration. I want to do something in Toronto. And he's like, you know, by all means, here you go. And, you know, he gave me lots of knowledge. He gave me all the resources, you know, and pretty much that's where we started from, Creative Arts, and all thanks go to him. And Creative Arts, you know, thank you to my students and the parents for supporting us. Thank you for yourself and everybody here, because you support us, and that's how we're going, and that's how we keep moving forward.
Well, you're doing great work, so it's definitely worthy of support. I'm going to ask you another tricky question. So much so much talk of great Bollywood choreographers in Vancouver. Which city has more potential to be an industry within an industry in terms of Bollywood, Toronto or Vancouver?
Oh my God, this is a tricky question. So those of you that don't know, and maybe you don't know, Vancouver is technically home to me. Okay, growing up as a child, I spent a lot of my childhood there, apart from India. And that being said, now I'm in Toronto. So two homes, and you're kind of tearing me apart. But quite frankly, I think Vancouver would have a greater potential, only because when we talk about traveling back and forth to the industry, Vancouver has a lot of talent, as well as the beauty of Vancouver. So when we talk about the industry and we talk about filming in the industry, they also have a lot of free time compared to Torontonians.
Why?
I don't know. Is it traffic that keeps us busy? Is it our Canadian weather that keeps us busy? Or
Vancouver में क्या Canadian weather नहीं होता? बारिश होती है, इतना सुना है.
Yeah, बारिश होती है.
इसलिए फिल्मी
And बारिश is filmy.
फिल्मी मूड होता है सबका. There you go. This is what it is.
There you go.
हमारे यहाँ बर्फ होती है, उनके यहाँ बारिश होती है. That is why they're more filmy. No, I think it's great. What I want to know now is what's next for creative arts for you? What are you looking forward to next?
I'm looking forward to, hopefully this year, we want to do, I think some of you got a glimpse during the New Year's Eve time. MVM was one of the hunts that we did. So a new company that is from India, Funky Media, they're pretty much trying to bridge the gap. And I've been fortunate enough that they've called upon me to do some representation here in North America. So I'm hoping, you know, as we spoke about having some sort of resource here and creating a Bollywood, can we do it? That's pretty much the next step is, you know, bringing Bollywood here and taking our Bollywood there.
And I think it's a really noble cause, and I'd love for you to continue doing so and doing really well. So we wish you the best of luck in that. People want to follow you, whether on Twitter or find you online. Where can they look up Miss Sohni?
Well, on Facebook, you can look me up, Miss Sohni. Very easy to spell, S-O-H-N-I. I always like to tell people, I get someone calling me, is it like the electronics?
Oh, no.
No.
That's when you know you're not Desi. It's like Sony ko Sony bana diya, yaar.
And if you want to follow me on Twitter, again, at Miss Sohni. So very easy, wherever you find me, you can Google me, YouTube me, and I'm there.
Lovely. So there you go, bhai. At Miss Sohni, MISSOHNI. So 3 S's hai beech mein, right? There you go. They will follow you on Twitter. Well, I follow Miss Sohni on Twitter. मुझे भी follow करे भाई. Shake that. मैंने कभी नहीं दिया अपना Twitter on MastOne, by the way. हाल ही में I actually got a tweet. I'll tell you this from one of our MastOne viewers, and she was like, "I didn't know you are on Twitter." I was like, I didn't know that MastOne viewers are on Twitter. So I'm really glad. So at Shake that, SHAIKHTH80, that's my Twitter handle. And भाई हमारी contact information भी आप ले लीजिए, राब्ता कर ही लीजिए. 4167032182 हमारा phone number है. हमारा email address है info@tv1canada.com. हमारा website tv1canada.com. It's a great little website. देखिए भाई हम लोग क्या करें. और Facebook में भी हमें like कर ही लीजिए. Facebook.com/MastOneShow. And again, a quick reminder, Miss Sohni on Facebook. Do follow Miss Sohni as well. Support the people who are supporting our community here, yaar. हम सपोर्ट देंगे, वो हमें सपोर्ट करेंगे. इट्स अ लिटिल सर्कल ऑफ सपोर्ट जिससे एक कॉम बढ़ती है, एक कम्युनिटी आगे आती है. सो आई थिंक you've started a great initiative, and I really hope the community supports you. So भाई, I want to thank you first of all for joining us in studio. I love the work you're doing, and I think chatting with you, I've realized you're also a great person to hang out with. And of course, I want to thank आप सबको भी कि आप आए हमारे साथ बैठे, हमारी गुफ्तगू में आप भी शामिल हुए. It's always heartwarming to know कि भाई आप हमें सपोर्ट करते हैं. अब इंशाल्लाह मुलाकात होगी अगले हफ्ते. Until then भाई अपना ख्याल रखिएगा और हमसे राब्ता रखिएगा. जाने से पहले भाई, is there a particular music video that we can play for you as we play out?
Well, latest song, Kuwara Mein Kuwara from Jodi Breakers. That's my new teaser. We'll be dancing to it soon, so I think it would be great to
looking
play
forward
that
to it. So
for all the single men out there.
I'm looking forward to Yusuf dancing to Kuwara Mein Kuwara. And of course, जाते जाते यही सुनते हैं. Jodi Breakers फिल्म का नाम है, गाने का नाम है कुवारा. सुनते सुनते चलते हैं. अपना ख्याल रखिएगा.
चाहे ये मिले, चाहे वो मिले, चाहे जो मिले, मेरी खुली है राहें. ले ले दिल कोई, चाहे मिल कोई, दे दे दिल कोई, मेरी खुली है बाहें. मैं हो गया सिंगल, I wanna mingle, हसीनों रहना